Hey everyone, it's time for day 10 of Alone with You. Last time we went to Colony B medical place, um, saw some dead bodies and stuff, and then we talked to Pierre Tong and found out it wasn't that bad of a guy, wasn't as much of a jerk as we initially may have thought, and um, yeah, so at this point, I think we've explored everywhere we've been allowed to, but who knows what we will see this time. So Corey's waking us up. He's asking, did we hear the storm again last night? I assume we are always hearing the storm, because that's all there is on this planet is storm. That must have made it difficult to sleep. I'm sure it did. In any case, the storm appears to be coming back around at regular intervals. We are likely to experience it again in another 5 days or so. Come and see me in the core as soon as you can. We should talk. We should talk. You know, you haven't been respecting my needs as a human, and so the screen today says, despite how unpleasant that trip to the other colony was, the data you collected really was invaluable. Mr. Tong made good use of his time. He did seem a little perturbed, though, by your discoveries. His work report today was distracted at best and not altogether clear. But he did work with me to advance the ideas he apparently had in those schematics you found. And that at least will give us an edge. I think as time wears on, even the holograms are feeling stressed about the whole situation. Why would you program your holograms to feel stress? That's just a bad idea. Anyway, let's go talk to Corey and see what the plan is for today. Well, I have some good news and some bad news. Which would you like to hear? I guess bad news first. You're always so practical. The bad news is this recurring storm may make our eventual escape difficult. Well, I figured that would be the case, so that's not that bad of news. However, I crunched some numbers last night, and I think it's time for some drastic steps. How drastic are we talking here? I want you to go to the terraforming fields today. I don't think you've ever been there before. It's the installation that controls the ground and orbital terraforming units, and as of now, it's still operational. But I think it's time to shut it down. The atmosphere is very unstable, and the terraforming is only making it worse at this point. So when you're ready, please head to the shuttle bay and plot a course to the terraforming fields. I'm on it. I appreciate you taking this seriously. But what was the good news? Corey, what was the good news? I didn't know there was additional flavor text after you're done talking to Corey. Who knows how much I've missed out on in the past. But this time he was just talking about what the terraforming place is. Alright, so new area. That's sort of fun and exciting, right? Although that makes me kind of curious, since there's no person tied to these terraforming fields, who are we gonna see in the holodeck tonight? Looks like the terraforming installation is still operating. It's a shame we need to shut it down. Shut it all down. Can't see them through the clouds, but a series of high-powered nodes continuously orbit the planet, changing the atmosphere from above. While at the same time, this installation works on the ground and helps us to monitor progress and make adjustments. It's the most advanced system of its kind in Hudson Cartier's network. But we have to do what we came here to do. Head inside and look for the terminals you need to shut down. I'll guide you. Well, this is kind of interesting. There's like a tube tunnel thing, and we can see like the clouds moving up there in the background. I like that. According to the work logs, the last crew team to be there consisted of Superintendent Ryan Payton and Engineer David Affin. I'm not a fan of his name. That's interesting. My records show that even though they were stationed here together frequently, they rarely got along. I have a whole directory of complaints and incident reports. In any case, be careful in there. Looks like that installation was compromised. I'm reading nasty particulates in the air. Alright, we got a guidance room, surface control room. Let's go to the guidance room first. Never go wrong with some guidance. Unless you're a teenager and the guidance is coming from your parents and you're like, you're not my real dad, I don't need your advice, Dad. That room contains the guidance equipment, which allowed the crew to manipulate the terraforming nodes orbiting the planet. You'll need to shut this down, I'm afraid. We're gonna shut it all down. We're gonna bring this mother down. We got 25 years worth of files on this computer. They're gonna bring you down. You gonna turn off the guidance terminal? Hell yeah. We already shut it down. We can't shut it down twice. That would be like locking an already open door. That room contains the environmental equipment, which is how the crew kept track of terraforming progress on and beneath the surface. The equipment controls those huge cylinders you may have seen outside the installation. We'll have to shut this down. Alright, we got like 2 dead bodies here sitting at this dining table, I guess. It's got some plates on it and what kind of looks like a birthday cake at the back there, but who knows what it is. Reclined in that chair is the limp corpse of terraforming engineer David Affin. His remains appear very withered. From the scan, I can make out that his vascular system was attacked by some kind of foreign body. I wonder if he got poisoned by this cake they were eating. Or did they both eat poisoned cake together? Oh, it is birthday cake. It looks like Those food remains are from a colorful cake of some kind. I can barely make out some lettering in the icing. It reads, "Happy birthday, David." Happy birthday, David. Congratulations. You've scanned the remains of terraforming superintendent Ryan Payton. The scan reveals that he died from inhaling something poisonous. His lungs were affected by whatever toxins are in the air, likely a substance from the dangerous atmosphere outside. It appears Superintendent Payton and Engineer Affin both died the same way. For them, it would have been like going to sleep. Well, that's not too bad. That's kind of a pleasant way to die. Like, it's your birthday or your friend's birthday. You're eating some nice birthday cake, and then you fall asleep, and then you sleep forever. That doesn't sound too bad. Like, if you have to die on a weird alien planet, I think that's the way to go. These guys got off lucky. Perhaps this little meeting was a way for them to resolve their differences before the end. How tragic. I mean, it's sad that they died, but think about all that stuff I just said, and it seems not so bad, right? So let's turn this mother off. Alright. Looks off to me. Mission accomplished. We've really done a great job here. Okay, well, that's that. The terraforming engine has been shut down. The orbiting nodes will cease firing, and that station will quiet down. This is not an ideal scenario, but it's the best we can manage. Good work. You can come home when you're ready. I think this may be the quickest we've ever gone on a mission outside of our base. It was just like 2 rooms. All that was in there was you shut down some computers. No puzzles or anything. It was like really not much to it. So we can't go anywhere else. We just have to go home. And yeah, what will happen once we're at home, I wonder. The options that I can think of right now would be either they let us choose which of our hollow buddies we want to hang out with, or maybe they won't let us hang out with anybody at all, in which case this would be a pretty short day here. I'm glad we got that over with. I'll be monitoring the atmospheric conditions constantly and will keep you updated. Please come see me as usual. I'd like to talk to you about something. Wonder what Corey has to tell us. Okay, with that out of the way, we can get back to finding what we need for the escape ship. But today, we shouldn't head out anymore, with the weather being what it is, and I think you need a bit of a break. So I've prepared another special simulation for you in the HoloSim chamber. Oh, I do hope you like it. This one took quite a while to put together. I'll call on you tonight when the simulation is good to go. With whom would you like to spend time in the HoloSim chamber tonight? It's not that complex of a sentence, but like it was breaking my brain a little bit as I was reading it. Well, let's see. Who's our favorite at at this point in the game. I think it's Winnie, right? We like Winnie. We find her relatable. We like Pierre and Leslie pretty okay as well. John, I mean, there's nothing wrong with him really. He's not offensive, but I feel like based on our interactions with him, he's the one I like the least out of these four. But I think Winnie is our top choice. Like, we like her the best. Let's spend some time with her. We already spent time with her once to look at the Aurora Borealis, so no harm in spending more time with our best friend. Our best friend besides Corey, of course, who we're constantly spending time with. Simulation for tonight is ready. The storm outside appears to have subsided somewhat, so I hope the hollow sim chamber will be stable. I really think you're going to like this simulation. It's very majestic. Let's see what Corey has in store for us. Let's see how majestic it really is. What would you describe as majestic? Just, like, think about what's in the world, what kind of sights you can think of. Like, majestic seems like a pretty strong word. You'd only use that for something that's really, like, impressive, right? So, like, maybe a view from the top of a mountain or something like that. Which, I guess it seems like that's what this is here. Corey says, "Isn't it amazing up here?" Or wait, Corey's turned off. So I guess this is, what's her face? Winnie speaking. She says, "Isn't it amazing up here? This vista is just breathtaking." Those clouds up there are called lenticular clouds. Did you know that? No, I'm not a cloud scientist. Don't be sorry, I was just curious. Most people don't really take an interest to things like clouds. You see the way they looked stacked? Like a bunch of discs in a pile? There are a few reasons for that. Listen, lady, there's only one thing I like to look at that's stacked. And clouds ain't it. Air moves over an area, like this mountain, and sort of condenses in place, and then more air comes in and does the same. So the air comes in and settles like that, forming the stack of clouds. It's pretty neat. There's one thing lenticular clouds do that other clouds don't, though. I'm curious if you know, so here's a little test. Lady, I just told you I don't know anything about clouds. Do they change color, stay in place, or make sounds? What do you think? Well, if they're forming a pancake stack, I assume if they moved around a lot, that would destroy the integrity of the stack and it wouldn't look like one anymore. So I'm gonna say they stay still. That's right. Because of how they're formed, they don't move along like other clouds do. Good job. I mean, it was mostly a guess. Don't be too impressed with me, Winnie. I'm sorry if I answered that question under false pretenses here. Anyway, I just got excited. I thought it'd be fun to quiz you. It's never fun to quiz somebody, Winnie. It's never fun. We're in here thinking about work so much, sometimes even our minds wander. So, I know about what you had to do today. The AI had you shut down the terraforming engine, didn't it? What do you think about that? Well, I mean, it made sense from what Corey described to me. It seems like the terraforming is making the planet even more unstable, so no use keeping that going. It might make the storms worse. I suppose it does. If the AI thinks it's the only way to prepare for your departure, then that's what had to be done, I guess. Anyway, we covered some pretty heavy ground last week when we met. I've been thinking about it ever since. How do you do it? When things get this bad, it's like the walls are closing in. I just get so paralyzed, you know? I really don't know what is so bad. Like, are you talking about like the pressure of if I don't get all this stuff done, then I'll probably, die on this planet and I won't be able to escape? Because, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that stressful for me. I don't want to tell her I think of you. Like, that's kind of a creepy line there. Like, oh, thinking about you gets me through the day. Like, it's, coming on a bit too strong, I think. So, I'll say I just go on. I see. I guess, well, honestly, I'm feeling more and more anxiety about all of this the longer I'm around. I still don't know what happened to, the real me. And the pressure of trying to get the ship fixed and you prepared. Well, the feeling of panic, the weight of it all, feels oddly familiar. And that worries me. It makes me wonder what you'll find out there. I guess I was just hoping I could learn from you, so I could deal with it better. Is that foolish? Trying to learn how to deal with things better is... I wouldn't call that foolish. I'd say that's a admirable behavior, like self-improvement and learning to handle things. It's not foolish, that's smart. I appreciate you saying so, and actually, may I ask you a question? Axe away? These HoloSim programs, as beautiful as they are, they're like an escape. They were meant to make living out here more bearable. We just seem to spend a lot of time on escaping. Even coming out here to this planet, I think for some of us that was like running away. You can start fresh on a colony. Everyone begins at the same point, So, I've never asked you, what were you? Before you came to this colony with everyone else. I was my options are engineer, scientist, manager. I guess in some sense engineer is the closest to me in real life. Although, if an actual engineer heard me say that, they'd be like, oh no, you don't deserve to call yourself an engineer. Really? Then the escape ship must be in real trouble if even an engineer can't repair it. I guess that's why you need us. Well, geez, that's a bit harsh. I am repairing it, thank you very much. With help from Corey. Well, being up here, you can forget all that. I suppose that's sort of the point. This crisp air, that beautiful sky. I guess sometimes I wish we could just be like this forever. You know? I wish we were all just okay. And we could watch this sky and quit worrying. I wish William could see this too. I suppose he's at peace now, at least, but I wish this didn't have to happen. Well, listen, maybe now isn't the best time, but I was thinking. Well, given everything, I wish we could have known each other better, or before all this, you know, in better times. Do you ever feel that way? Yeah, I mean, maybe if we were friends before all this disaster happened, then you might have had a bit of an easier time dealing with everything, and you wouldn't have quite as much of a problem with, like, anxiety and social skills. I mean, I don't think having friends fixes that sort of thing, but it certainly helps. So I'll tell her yes. That's so great to hear, and I'm glad we got to spend more time together this week. I've been thinking about you a lot. Well, it seems like all you holograms have nothing to do except think about me or work on whatever you're assigned to work on, so it's, I guess, not a surprise, but at the same time it's kind of weird. Like, think about other things, don't think about me. Anyway, it's probably time for you to get going again. I hope we get to see each other again soon. Good night again for now. Alright, so this seems like a pretty short day as far as days within this game go. We went to the terraforming place, shut down some computers, then we came back, did looked at some mountaintop view with Winnie, who is our best friend so far, and that's about it. So yeah, let's see what we do the next time. Till then, thanks for watching and take care.